What is going on, everyone? I think this will probably be a podcast episode, so welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. This is Abe, your host. Let's see what today's date is. I always try to tell the date because I am going to start a new channel. So today is Monday, June 10th. Y'all still there? Cool. The reason why I tell the date is because, like I said, I'm going to start a new channel on Rumble and BitTube, so I can gain some cryptocurrency. I have zero crypto. I'm actually going to do a financial episode on what I'm going to do financially. Trying to put my eggs in multiple baskets because it's looking weird out there, dude. Yeah, dude, me and my wife, I just got off the phone with her. It's looking kind of like Weimar Germany, you know. Maybe we'll do an episode on Weimar Germany because I think it's very important. Weimar Germany, the end of the Kali Yuga cycle, Age of Water into Age of Fire, the fourth turning. If you're a student of Art Bell, the quickening. It's getting weird out there. I have so much planned for this channel, and I'm going to get to it. I'm still putting out episodes. It's just, man, like, my brain, it's like, I want to do this. But working a full-time job as a night stalker, you know, it's like, man, I wish this was my full-time job so bad, so I could just podcast all day, you know. But anyways, I was listening to a podcast on the way here, Eddie Bravo, Look Into It, and I'm going off the cuff. I always got my notes. He talks a lot about music, and by the way, check out that podcast. If you like conspiracy theories, if you don't know who Eddie Bravo is, that's like saying you like baseball but don't know who Babe Ruth is, you know, or saying you like boxing but don't know who Rocky Marciano is. Like, come on, bruh. Which, dude, you see that a lot, especially we've had in the conspiracy community such a huge influx of QAnon people. Like my buddy, man, he's a conspiracy theorist, he's a flat earther, he's a Q-tard, and I love him to death, but he's a fucking Q-tard. And he'll be like, man, yeah, I'm listening to Rattle Trap 1776 and Michael Jaco and Wano Savin, and I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? And then when I go up to them and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm listening to, because we tell each other what we're listening to, like podcast and shit, and I'm like, yeah, dude, just listening to some old William Cooper. And he's like, who's William Cooper? Or listening to a Jordan Maxwell lecture. Who's Jordan Maxwell? And I don't know, man, I guess it's just weird for me because, like, I've been in the conspiracy community since, like, 2011, 2012. So, like, you know who the heavy hitters are. It's almost like baseball or wrestling, you know. You know who's big in the game, you know. Like, the other day I said, oh, Bart Zabrell was on Joe Rogan. And he's like, who's Bart Zabrell? And I almost wanted to be a smartass, like, didn't you say you're a flat earther? Like, this is like the moon landing hoax dude, you know? It's just weird. Like, we got like a huge influx of QAnon people, and all they listen to is like QAnon people. but they don't know who like the classics are, or who like the heavy hitters are of like that world, you know. Hang on a second. Un momento. Sorry, I'm in a parking lot. This is where I've been podcasting lately, is in the parking lot before work. And I live in a very liberal city, so I don't like to be talking about this shit with my window down. I really don't want to get in a fist fight with someone. But Eddie Bravo, man, check him out. He's a fucking heavy hitter. The only thing I don't really like about his podcast, and it's not that he's doing anything wrong, is I'm obsessed with conspiracy theory shit. And that's not the only podcast that I listen to, like types of podcast. I do listen to, like, I do like his channel because he talks a lot about music, which I used to be a musician. And we're going to get into that with today's episode because we're talking about Satanism in music. And I'm going to play devil's advocate. I might take some hot takes that you don't like. But like I said, with this channel, the older I've gotten, I've been trying to use Occam's razor more, play devil's advocate more. And I will, I think, be a good steel man, and play both sides. Which, this channel, because I was talking to somebody in a comment section earlier today, this channel is a lot different than most conspiracy channels. I actually, in my opinion, think that I play devil's advocate pretty hard. And most channels, they're either gung-ho on everyone's Illuminati, fuck everyone, I don't need evidence, I'm just gonna, everyone's Satan worshipers, you know. And then you got the ones who are like debunkers, who are super liberal, and they're not conspiracy channels, but their whole channel is dedicated to debunking conspiracies. This, I feel like, is a safe middle place, middle ground, and that's the way that I am personally, you know. Someone comes up to me and they go, oh, so-and-so is a Satanist, they sacrifice babies in their basement. I'm like, okay, wait. So-and-so is sacrificing babies in a basement? Like, where's the evidence? What's going on? Like, let me see the evidence and shit, you know? We need to prove this. Can't just say it. I mean, you can say whatever you want. You got your First Amendment right. But I got something called credibility that I need to worry about. As a podcaster, I have to worry about my credibility. But Eddie Bravo, man, his channel, he focuses on conspiracies, music, and jiu-jitsu. And that's where he loses me, is the sports and jiu-jitsu talk. I'm like, oh God, it's one of these episodes. And I won't even listen to it. But besides that, like the music episodes, I love the music episodes because I was a musician. I was a lead singer for a horror punk band, Vicious Fist. But we're going to get into Satanism within music. Sorry for the long intro. Satanism within music. I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember whose podcast it was. It was a conspiracy podcast. And the person they had on there was a black dude. And he was saying that he thinks that the elites focus on, that the elites are racist. Which they could be. I don't know. I'm not an elite. I think there's factions to the elites. William Cooper used to say that behind closed doors, the Nazis and the Zionists are shaking hands and drinking champagne and hanging out and partying and celebrating. I could see that. You know, that all the puppet masters have their disagreements, like just like me and you. If me and you sat down at a restaurant, you know, which one day, hopefully my channel will blow up. I hope that it blows up one day so I can make a living off of this and maybe quit my horrible job that makes me miserable. But at the end of the day, we might have a meetup and I get to meet you guys. And I don't care. We'll talk about anything. You know, I'm not the type, like, people say you can't bring up politics, religion, or stuff like that at the dinner table. And I agree with it to an extent, but at the same time, I don't. You know, as long as everyone's respectful and cool, it should be allowed. Like, I was listening to Rogue Ways one time, which is a cool podcast. I like her. And she was saying, like, at the time, I think Thanksgiving was coming up or something, and she was saying, like, people say you can't talk about religion or politics at the dinner table. And she said there is a visceral reaction within people about everything. Everyone is looking to get offended within 2 seconds. And she was saying that, like, an uncle could speak up at the dinner table and go, I think we should burn witches. And her reaction would be, interesting. Why is that? But most people's reactions would be like, we should burn witches? Fuck you, you Puritan piece of shit, you conservative Christian, I hate you. Like, get the fuck out of here. And she's like, that shouldn't be the actual natural reaction. The natural reaction should be like, no matter how crazy it sounds, why should we burn witches? You know? But this black guy, he was saying that he thinks that the elites are racist. And like I said, they could be. It could be factions. I'm not an elite. I don't know. I'm asking you guys, what do you guys think about that? Do you think the elites at the highest tip of the pyramid, are they racist? Because I see people like Obama, who is black. Pretty sure he's Muslim. If you look at his roots, like, he was into some weird, like, Black Pride, Black Panther type of shit. Like, if you look at his, like, old younger self and shit. I don't know. Or do they all just work together and get over their differences? Which, in a way, if you think about it, that makes them almost stronger than us. You know, that's definitely divide and conquer, man, because we're over here arguing about the name of Jesus. Is it Yeshua? Is it Emmanuel? Is it, we're over here arguing about stupid shit, you know? There's people arguing about Donald Trump and RFK, which one's better, you know? Because I'm voting RFK, and I get people tell me, oh, you got TDS and you're anti-Trump, and it's like, yeah, I'm anti what a lot of the shit he did, but I voted for him. That doesn't matter. You're a stupid liberal communist. It's like, okay. So maybe they can get over racism. Maybe they do hate black people. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it when you look at history. As far as, like, slavery and segregation and shit like that. Are the elites racist? Maybe. But maybe Obama has a certain bloodline and they can look over his color, you know? I mean, we all know that his mother was a CIA sex kitten and shit, allegedly. But this guy was saying with rap music that he thinks that it was racially charged, that was the reason for it. And I don't think so. And Sam Tripoli, man, I always bring him up because, man, he almost bats 1,000. Like, his batting average is fucking good. No one bats 1,000, but his batting average is good. And he was saying, he's always been saying for years that the CIA controls rap music. And, you know, you had like these early rap groups who were pushing positive messages, like A Tribe Called Quest, shit like that. And they all got, like, rap music in the early days was just like, let's dance, let's go to the club, let's dance, let's get weird. And then during the 90s, it got taken over and got flooded with, like, NWA, which I'm not talking shit on NWA. I love NWA. Snoop Dogg, NWA, Dr. Dre, with gangster rap. And he kept saying, man, it's CIA controlled. And what they are is the same people who own the record companies are the same ones who have their hand in the prison industrial complex. And turns out you got people like, was it Ice Cube or something has been coming out and saying that shit lately? Sam's been right the whole time, dude. And his track record's sick, by the way, dude. Listen to Tinfoil Hat. It's my favorite podcast. That's why I bring him up a lot. Maybe one day I'll get to go on there. That'd be so fucking sick, dude. But, so I think the black people were covered in that department. But while listening to this podcast and listening to this guy talk, he was focusing only on the black community. And I like to talk to myself because I talk to myself like a crazy person. Hence why I have a podcast, because I can't shut up. I'm a bunny rabbit. He was focusing, and it's not his fault. He's not wrong or nothing. They were targeting the black community with the CIA bringing in crack cocaine, bringing in gangster rap. I'm sure if you looked at the toppest levels of these gangs and shit, like the Cholos, the fucking Bloods and Crips, West Side, East Side, all that shit, I guarantee you they're like feds at the top, you know? But, I think they used rap to focus on the black community. And I think that they used rock to focus on the white community. Because in the early 90s and shit, you had, and pardon my French, I hope this isn't offensive. It wasn't offensive growing up. I'm just going to say it. You didn't have that many wiggers, you know. I mean, what we have, like early 2000s, maybe late 90s. I think he was a part of D12 or whatever. You really didn't have that much white rap. Beastie Boys, Vanilla Ice, Marky Mark. There just wasn't that big of a movement as far as like wiggers, you know. So I think they used rock music the same way that they used rap music, but they used it in a different way. With rap music, I feel like they were trying to militarize the black community. And by militarize, I mean more like brown shirt style with Nazi Germany. Like, let's give them uniforms, red and blue. Let's have them be street soldiers with gangs. Militarizing the black community, the downtrodden. And I don't think they did that same tactic with white people. I think with white people, they were trying to dismantle Christianity, morals and stuff like that, conservative values, with stuff like punk rock And this is coming from someone who used to be a horror punk singer, like I said earlier. I was talking to a buddy, the same guy who I said is a Q-tard, and I was like, dude, you're still a Q-tard. It's been going on since 2017. Nothing's going to happen. No one's going to get locked up. And I was explaining to him Operation Trust, all this shit, and explaining to him, breaking it down, why what he believes in is a psyop. And I had to like humble myself and tell him, look, dude, I'm a punk. I'm still a punk to this day. Punk rock was a psyop. And he goes, what? Punk rock was a psyop? Yeah. So you fell for a psyop and you're still a part of that psyop? And I say, nah, I'm not still a part of that psyop, but there were good things that came out of punk. I just take the good, separate it from the bad, and get rid of the bad. There is a philosophy behind punk rock. You know, when I joined the punk scene, my parents were like, oh, this is just a phase. And I kept laughing at them and telling them, no, dude, this is who I am for the rest of my life, dude. And I don't think they understood. Like, I fell in love with a philosophy that to this day, I'm still a punk. You know, I have people who are like, man, Abe, you're just like different. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a punk. And they're like, what's a punk? I'll tell them the philosophy of punk. And it's like, that's my cultural philosophy, mindset, my uniform that I dress. You know, I'm going to be a punk till the day I die, you know. There's still old punks out there like Iggy Pop and fucking, you know, Glenn Danzig and shit. Johnny Rotten. Like, it's just who I am, dude. I've already said I want to be buried in my leather jacket, my fucking battle boots, my skinny jeans. Like, I don't want to be buried in a suit, dude. I'm going to be buried as a fucking punk. And I've already told my wife, dude, like when I'm buried, because I will die before her. I already know. When I do go, like I don't want church music playing at my funeral. I want fucking Ramones, Misfits, Danzig playing in the background at my funeral, you know? And I want an open bar. She's like, seriously? I said, yep, I want my funeral to be kind of like a party, dude. Like, and I don't want people wearing suits and shit. I know I have like family members on my mom's side who's going to show up in suits and dresses, and like everyone else is just going to be full-blown punk gear. And they're going to be like, what the fuck did we just walk into? But yeah, dude, punk rock was definitely a psyop. They wanted you to, with like Sid and Nancy, they wanted you to do drugs. YOLO. This was YOLO before YOLO. You only live once. Unprotected sex. Fuck marriage. You know, we don't need marriage. Which is kind of cool. Fuck Christianity. Fuck what your parents say. Just drink and party and violence in the streets, riots. Let's throw bricks through windows. Like, we were useless foot soldier idiots, you know, like the brown shirts. Fuck jobs, fuck uniforms, like just complete controlled chaos. I believe that with white people, they used punk rock as a psyop. I believe they used, and maybe later I'll get into the good aspects of punk rock as far as the philosophy and shit. Black metal. Here's something with black metal, dude. And this is something that Eddie Bravo brings up, and this is why I wanted to comment more on that, because he was actually like super correct on that shit. Is like, he was part of like speed metal, I think is what he said he played, like speed metal, thrash metal. He played guitar and shit and drums and shit. He I don't know, I don't memorize what his position was in the band, but he was saying that he remembers at the time of the Satanic Panic, because he grew up during that time period, that the news was like, oh, our kids are listening to satanic music. And they were focusing on bands that actually weren't satanic. They were focusing on bands like Twisted Sister. There was a whole court trial with Twisted Sister. Kiss. Like playing Kiss records backwards and stupid shit. And he was like, he never understood because he was into like black metal, like the darkest of the dark, dude. We didn't even mess with black metal. To us, we were a horror punk band, which was like, to us, we thought that was the darkest of the dark. And I had buddies who were like, nah, bro, it goes darker. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, check out black metal. And it's like, you know, like, they'll say God. Like, it was, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, here I thought I was a badass because I was painting my face like a skull and wearing leather jackets and singing about Satan and sacrificing babies and shit. And like, there was something heavier and fucking darker out there. Like, you couldn't even understand what they were saying, dog. You know, and here I was singing like Dave Vanian from The Damned, or singing like Glenn Danzig, like, you know, like, if I cut off their arms, cut off their legs, would you still love me anyways? You know, because of the lyrics were dark as fuck, but the singing was beautiful. But nah, dude, it goes darker. But Eddie was like, dude, like, there's actual satanic fucking bands and shit. And dive deep into black metal, the black metal murders and church burnings and shit, like in Norway and shit. I believe that black metal was definitely a psyop of like, let's destroy Christianity, let's get the youth into actual dark real Satanism. Like, there was murders that happened, there was fucking church burnings, like I said. Like, they were getting into some dark fucking shit. Animal sacrifice, suicides, heavy fucking dark shit. So I think that with the white community, they were doing just as much as a psyop on us as they were the black community. So I guess that was my disagreement with this guest on this podcast I was listening to. And like I said, I don't remember which podcast it was, but it was a black dude's, you know, and he was pulling the whole black card of like, woe is me, woe is my people. And it's like, dude, they were pulling psyops on everyone. Ours was just different. You guys had the gangbanging psyop. Let's get them in prison. Let's get them on drugs. Let's get them in the ghettos. Let's get them shooting each other. Ours was a different psyop of, let's get them into pure Satanism. Let's get them into the devil. To me, that's almost darker. Let's get them sacrificing animals. Let's get them killing people for sacrifices. Let's get them... Because of course they would do that to the white people too, because we are the only ones that would fall for that shit. Like, we're all, I do think that we are definitely more woo-woo than like black people. And I'm not using this as racism. I think it's funny. But like, we're the types who like at parties or sleepovers, we were like trying to like summon demons and play Ouija boards and shit. You know, I was telling a buddy, like, he was like, what did you guys do in high school? And I told him, you know, I was in a horror punk band. I was like, here in Kentucky, we were having horror punk band practice. And I remember me and my buddy, there was this abandoned church. We used to sneak into the abandoned church and do witchcraft. We used to go out to the woods and do witchcraft. We used to go hang out at graveyards. Like, that's white people shit right there, dude. That's the weird, crazy white people shit that we were doing, falling into that psyop of Satanism and music. And looking back on it, he was even laughing at me like, really? That's what you guys did in like 2008, 2009? Like, that's what you guys were doing? I'm like, yeah, bro. We were like goth kids, punk kids, you know, metalheads and shit. We were all doing weird shit like that out in the woods and shit, you know? It was fun. Looking back on it, it was fun. Was it cringy and nerdy? Probably, you know, but that's what we were into, man. And I'm sure there was kids in like 2 towns over in Louisville who were gangbanging and shooting people and doing drugs because of the rap music. So I think that both races, as far as black and white, they were getting psyoped in different ways. I hope I make that understanding clear. We're going to go a little deeper. I can go long on this one. This is 30 minutes so far. Give me just a second. I got to go pee. All right, let's get into... We're going overtime now, baby. Let's get into... Let me check the time. Yeah, I still got a little bit. I'll wrap it up here, though. Let's get into Satanism within rap music now. Because I feel like the elites are now definitely going with Satanism into mainstream pop, mainstream rap. And I ain't gonna lie, dude. These elites are fucking out of touch nerds. Like, you guys... I find the whole thing cringe. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, man. Everyone, as far as like the conservative Christian community, is all freaking out about Satanism within pop music and Satanism within rap music. And by the way, Satanism actually has been in rap music for a long time. Like, you had like 3-6 Mafia, and like there was like Deep South rap. I forget the genre of music, but they were doing like spells and shit. They were into some dark shit. These lesser known bands, non-mainstream. You hear that shit? And Southern rap. And I guess I noticed it more because I grew up in the South and I live in the South. I ain't gonna lie, I'll probably never leave the South. I kind of like it here. But Sam says this, man. Sam Tripoli. And I'm sure people are gonna say, oh my God, why do you talk about Sam Tripoli so much? Because he's my favorite podcaster. He's fucking awesome. He says that things are not getting worse, and I agree with him on this. And I've said this in older episodes, that I don't think things are getting worse, but he actually explains it better than me. Things are not getting worse, they're just getting more obvious. And he's right. Because we have internet, so everything, your algorithms are showing you more of the darkness in the world, of what's going on. Now with pop music, man, what I was saying is the elites, I feel like, are out of touch. They're nerds. Because when I see like Satanism within pop music and like Doja Cat, Lil Nas X, I laugh. And I laugh because it's cringe to me. Because it's like, bro, white people have been doing this satanic shit since the 70s, bro. Since Black Sabbath. Since The Damned. Since Misfits. We've been doing this shit forever, and I feel like rap music and pop music are just now getting to that, the whole, Satanism's cool. And to me, it's just cringe. It's like, bro, this is nothing new. So it cracks me up when I hear like Christian conservatives freaking out about it. And it's like, this is nothing new. This has been going on forever, dude. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just cringe. Like when I see Doja Cat and Lil Nas X. And by the way, the music itself sucks. At least when we were doing satanic shit, our music sounded fucking dope. Like, I had this one song, it was when I was singing for Vicious Fist. It's called Hell. That was the name of the song, and it was like dum 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 dum. Once you're here to stay. There is no escape. Hell. Hell. Like, we were playing like wicked shit, bro. There was one song, I don't remember what the song was, but like, nailed Christ in plague of lice. Like, just the most evil shit we could come up with lyrically and vocally, and was singing Misfits covers, and I don't know, just like, to me, this like new satanic music just sounds like garbage. That, and I'm not homophobic, but like the Lil Nas X music video and shit, like, I just thought it was just gay. And I'm not homophobic, you know. Dude, I paint my fucking nails and shit. I'm very feminine. But I didn't like it, not because of the Satanism, but just because I don't like to watch a black man giving the devil a lap dance. Like, I'm just not gay, dude. So, there is a part of me that understands, though, because, you know, a lot of people think I'm gay, and a lot of people have given me shit throughout the years, like during high school, and just even as an adult, people have called me gay and thought I was gay and shit. And so I actually firsthand know what the gay community was going through and what it felt like. So I do kind of understand that the song was basically like him responding to Christianity as far as the homophobia that he felt. And he probably did feel that. So I kind of honestly, in a way, agree with, not agree, but I'm kind of like, okay, I understand. I get it. He purposely was blasphemous because he was hurt by Christianity. So was I. I mean, I get it. And First Amendment right, man, he has the right to say whatever the fuck he wants. You know, I think Christianity should be called out on some shit. I know it fucked me up. It fucked me up more than you guys know. I've gotten better the older I've gotten with therapy and trying to be a more assertive person and trying to deal with having MDD and shit. Becoming a stronger, better person on dealing with Christianity. But I do believe that it fucks a lot of people up, man. And it just needs to be said. It doesn't get said enough. And people act like Christianity can't fuck people up. And it's like, yeah, it does, dude. It fucks people up. So, I'm running out of time. At least you guys got a longer episode. I could go like another fucking 30 minutes and go deeper and deeper into Tavistock Institute, the CIA, Laurel Canyon. I wish I had more time. Maybe we'll do a part 2 because I didn't go as deep as I wanted to on this, but it's already 40 minutes. But I hope you got something out of it. I ranted a little bit. I try not to. I'm just long fucking winded, man. Hence why I do podcasts. This is why I don't do shorter YouTube videos anymore, because I'm long fucking winded. I wanted to go deeper. Maybe we'll go a little deeper, do a part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please keep tuning in to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. This is Abe. I've been your host. Please like, share, and subscribe. And once I get my new channel up and running on Rumble and shit, I can go completely uncensored, and yeah, it'll be dope. The channel's getting bigger and better every day. God bless. Please comment down below. See you guys later.